Welcome back to the mix, you guys. So our guest tonight is a rapper and producer whose songs have over 250 million global audio and video streams. Last fall, Rolling Stone announced his music business course at Harvard University for the fall of 2021. He's here tonight to talk about his highly anticipated new album, You See For Yourself, dropping this summer. So let's welcome IDK into the mix, you guys.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yo, what's
how
up?
are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How y'all?
So, for one, I love what your name stands for. So I just found out that it stands for ignorantly delivering knowledge.
Yeah.
So I gotta know, how did you come up with such a dope name like that?
There was a time in my life where I was incarcerated a few times, but the last time, I was in a place where I didn't have a lot to do, so I decided to start writing music. And when I wrote music, I said, when I get out, let me just try to do this rap thing. And then from there, I had to think of a name. And then I was like, I wanted a name that everyone would kind of want to ask questions about, right? And so I came up with IDK because I knew people would want to know what that meant. But then I put the acronym in it because ignorantly delivering knowledge is kind of how I make music. It's like, depending on what you hear, you might think I'm one type of artist, but when you listen to my body of work, you'll understand the depth in what I'm actually trying to message to people.
Oh, that's deep.
I love that.
Right.
Messaging. Come on, black man.
Yes, sir.
That's what I be talking about right there, man. Just artists that have a deeper meaning, right? Like, I love artists where they could get you dancing and crunk, but then when you go re-listen, it's like, it's a message, it's a purpose behind this. Mm-hmm. And with you're an amazing artist, but you're also very innovative when it comes to marketing your music and yourself. You partner with several big companies and networks. You have a label deal with Warner Music, and you were the first artist in history to premiere an album with Forbes. What inspired you to do these type of creative marketing and partnership strategies?
I think we live in the limitations of what we've seen, and a lot of us are afraid to dream. And for me, I've seen a lot of things come to life at smaller scale. So that's when I kind of just started thinking of crazier and crazier things. The difference between me and a lot of people, though, is it's okay to dream about something and want something and be ambitious, but I also bring the logic back to it and say, why does this make sense? How can this make sense? What do I need to be put around this idea to make it actually come to life? And that's the difference between, I think, me and a lot of people who have these big visions, you know what I mean?
Man, you're a realist and an idealist. I tell people you got to have a little bit of both if you want to be successful.
Yeah, 100%. It's like a lot of the times the artists have the vision and they might have a manager or somebody that brings it to life because they understand what you really need to do. Yeah. With me, I'm in a unique position because I kind of do both within myself. So, I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we've been talking about how great your music is. I want to get a little bit further into it. So you have a new single out featuring Offset called Shoot My Shot, and we've all been talking off camera about how much we love and listen to this song. So please tell us more about it and how the collab with Offset came together.
That was one of those things. T-Minus sent me the beat, typical rap story, and I got in the studio. This is my studio here, actually, and I just kind of, like, a lot of times I freestyle. I just kind of freestyled it, came back, did the second verse, and that was it. And then I did a little bit on the production and arrangement. But the way Set got on it, I sent it to him a while back, and he was like, yeah, I'm on it, I'll do it. But the thing with Set is you kind of gotta, like, really just pull up on him, So I happened to be in the studio, and he was there, and Che Pope hit me. He was like, yo, I think Seth's here. He said he messed with you, whatever. He's like, yeah. We supposed to do a song. So I went there, and I seen him in the studio, and I played him the first half of the album, You See For Yourself. And he was so amazed by it that he was just like, yo, whatever you need, let's do it right now. And right then and there, he'd have been in the studio since the night before. So we talking about, this is like 11 a.m.
Wow.
He just did it right then and there, gave me the verse, and he's like, man, I want to see you go to the moon. So, you know, I got you. Anything you need, I got you. And then he came and did the video for me and everything. So that's
See,
how
there go that realist and idealist though, because if you
Yeah.
wouldn't have pulled up on him, it would have never happened.
Right, right.
Yeah.
right.
Like
Yeah.
y'all was talking and communicating, but you know you had to pull up on him.
Yeah, you gotta understand what artists, sometimes we wanna do the features and stuff, but it don't even be like us dodging nobody. It's just be like you gotta be there at the right time or
Vibes too.
be aggressive, but like in the right way, like not annoying. You know what I'm saying? When you want to feature.
Mhm.
So you saying that I just need to be in the room with Beyonce and be a little aggressive? And she
I don't
was
know
I'm
about Beyonce.
sorry.
You also gotta weigh it out depending on the artist. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget the idealist and the realist part, Anton.
There we go.
Right.
Thank you.
But no, you know what I was gonna say, because I told you I had that song on repeat. And my favorite line when I was like, take it back. I'm in the car, like, take it back, take it back. You said, dodging baby mama problems. Woo, that's a close one. Face like a host. Wait, face like a you know what you say, yeah. So anyway, I gotta ask you, with Shoot My Shot, has anyone shot at you recently, or have you shot your shot at anybody recently?
Ew.
Actually, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I get that kind of a lot now because of the song. It'll be like, yo, well, I'm just shooting my shot now, or like I get those those DMs. They be funny. But it's like people definitely play around with that song when they DM me sometimes.
But you ain't tell us, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna move on. Yeah, it's okay, because I get what you're trying to do. Yeah, it's okay.
I ain't tell y'all what.
I ain't tell y'all what. I'm gonna skip it because I see what you're doing. So you also have another single though, Peloton, but after listening to it, it wasn't a song about an exercise bike like at all. It was actually pretty deep. So for those who haven't heard it, can you just tell us what this song is about and what inspired it?
I think it was inspired by like the concept of love, relationships, fear of kind of getting into things with people. It's a lot of things. Gender roles even play a part in this song. It's just a catch-22 situation where I kind of play both sides. It's like a lot of women are hesitant to mess with guys because the stigma around guys, especially black men. And then a lot of women, and then a lot of men are explaining, this is like the man's side of explaining kind of why they the way that they are. I'm saying they, meaning me, you feel me? This song is a form of growth, like me kind of realizing certain things and then articulating it to the world. But it's mainly about the dynamic between the man and the woman, or whoever's in love with each other, and the dance that we do, you know?
Nice.
little play of words, the dance that we do.
Yeah, the dance, you know the dance. You know?
Man's a
like-
lyrical genius, man.
I see. Well, listen, you made your album announcement last week, but before we talk about it and when it's coming out and all of that good stuff, I have to get into this post because there's a lot to unpack. You shared that the idea of love is complicated and that it's even more complicated for a Black man in an environment that limits your vulnerability, and that you needed the truth to heal. So please speak on that.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of like for me therapy. I got on that mic and just said what I was feeling, not realizing that there was things I was actually unpacking. So when I stepped back to listen to the music, I realized I was kind of talking about certain things. And this album is definitely about my relationship with my mother and my family, and the want for love, and then kind of like that leading to me misusing the idea of love with other people, or not properly knowing how to give that to other people, right? But at the end of the day, I come to terms with myself, because you kind of have to look within yourself. You know, a lot of us, especially African Americans in America, we're not aware that there's work to be done, so we don't do the work. And I think sometimes it affects our relationship dynamics, and some of the things we've seen with our parents got a lot to do with that as well. So it's kind of like breaking the curse, but in order to do that, you gotta kind of like look within yourself, right? And then be understand enough what you need to do, to kind of raise your children a certain way to where they have the things that you may not have had that could have affected you in a negative way.
Wow. Man, this is confirmation because I got to say, I was watching random interviews today and the topic it was like breaking those generational curses when it comes to love and relationships. And these interviews was talking about how kids jump into grown folks' business where you just see mom and dad not together and you think it's literally black and white that easy. But like I always say on this show, is so much gray in between every aspect of life. So you just saying that, man, I know this was meant to be. And I think this is going to be a great interview for you because I got people hitting me up like, man, IDK, man, I'm about to check out his music. I didn't hear of him, but I feel like this dude is like a young Kanye. And I see that in you because you know your vision, you know your purpose already. You just got to get to where you're going and you will get there. But with that being said, man, I got to know, tell us about the album. When it's dropping, we need the exclusive right here on The Mix.
Right. So the album's dropping July 9th. There's a lot of great.
July 9th. Wait, that's Cancer season. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I thought that was Leo season, but it's all good.
Nah, July 9th. There's a lot of great people actually. You mentioned Kanye. That's one of the people that like I got a lot of great information and understanding from not too long ago. And when it comes to what I do, him along with a lot of other people are big influences on what I do. So, you know, I can't wait for this to come out. I can't wait for the world to hear this. But I think most importantly, men we need this a lot because it shows us, I feel, how to be more vulnerable and how being vulnerable is okay. You can still be cool. You can still have all this masculinity, but be vulnerable. And I think it helps women, especially Black women, have a deeper understanding of kind of why we think the way we think and why we need y'all help in changing and being better. So,
well, listen, I congratulate you for spreading light on vulnerability, especially for Black men, because I think that we live in a culture where it's hyper masculine. And like we're taught to be strong and to not show emotion and, you know, to not show our love, but it only holds us back from being able to love. So it's beautiful that, you know, another Black man is showing other Black men, you know, how you can be vulnerable and it's okay.
Yeah, 100%. And we need to continue to do that. We need to hold each other accountable and we need to make sure the environment that we create makes it okay for us to be honest.
So I wanted to ask, because we know that you have Offset on the album already, but are there any other special guests appearing on the album that you can tell us about here on The Mix?
Y'all want one that that I haven't, no one knows about right now, exclusive.
I
got T-Pain on the album, and I'm
I love T-Pain.
I love T-Pain too.
Yeah.
T-Pain gonna always hit.
Yeah.
I mean, you just felt some of your spirit with that, and I ain't never heard that before.
Yeah.
T-Pain is a dope.
I just need a clip of our faces just lighting up when we heard T-Pain. We all just got the
like because T-Pain is a legend.
No, he really is. One of my most favorite moments of my life. I was in Florence, Italy, randomly, and T-Pain was performing, and it was the most turned up concert. I'm like, T-Pain out there too? We there, baby. I hit him up. I slid in the DM. I said, T-Pain, I'm out here. I need the tickets. And man, those kids was turned up in Italy and he was playing hit after hit. And it shows you the influence this man has. So I can't wait to hear that collab with you and him. I know that's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Y'all know I have to press Romeo because who says they were in Italy?
I was going, Jamie.
Right. Zonnie,
out of my head.
Baby, I know. We're right here.
I don't want to say it.
Right. We have to take a break while me and Zoe kind of press Romeo really quickly, but don't go anywhere because IDK is staying in the mix with us and he's going to get into his new partnership with Nike and Harvard. Yep. Y'all heard me correctly. Harvard, do not play with him. You definitely do not want to miss this. So keep it locked right here on Fox Soul.
That's right.
We are back with the amazing artist IDK. Now, you have a very interesting partnership with Nike and Harvard that we have been so anxious to talk about coming up this summer. So it looks like you will be adding Professor to your resume. Do not play with him, like we said. So can you please tell us about the class that you will be teaching?
Yeah, so we're teaching I'll be teaching a music business course at Harvard. It's for BIPOC students that would have not normally been able to come to Harvard. It's about kind of bringing, Black, Indigenous people of color to Harvard because I feel like we all belong there. The percentage of Black people in Harvard, I think it's like 14% right now. So, it's kind of like that idea is unrealistic to a lot of people, but I want to kind of bring people there so people could see that and feel that, and other people could see other people there and know that the sky is the limit and all of these things are possible,
Okay, so I really want to start from scratch. Now, how did you get involved with this program to teach your own course at Harvard? Like, let us know so maybe we can do this one day.
Okay.
So remember, earlier I said something about being a visionary and thinking of things, but then putting like the logic to it to make it actually happen. I told my team that my goal and dream is to be able to teach a class at Harvard. And it kind of was just one of those things that I said, but when I really want something, I figure it out, And it started with me going over there to go speak. And I went and had a conversation with them about criminal justice reform. And that led to a conversation about potentially coming back, which led to a conversation that I was like, kind of like, all right, I think the industry signs a lot of artists from, certain neighborhoods where they kind of have like a big song and it's like, okay, let's capitalize off of this song as soon as possible. But the labels don't tend to give the artists or the artist managers, who typically are usually their friends or something like that, the information and knowledge to know how to operate in a corporate setting. So a lot of the times you get confusion, the labels monetize and make the money. And then when everything is done and the well's dried up, they kind of just leave you without the tools and understanding to keep it going. So I felt like there needed to be some type of buffer in between. My goal was to make this a course that if you signed to a record label and you were under a certain age, maybe 25, it was mandatory that you come through this program. It's only 10 days, you and your manager, whoever, and then you learn the knowledge that you need to learn. Obviously, this is the early stages of it, and we still showing a proof of concept. We're doing very well right now. But once this is done, my goal is to continue this for the rest of my life every year. So
wow,
man, this is amazing. Like, I gotta hop in there because I didn't even know you was doing all of this. And this is the importance of education. This is something me and my pops is very big on, and you hit right on it. A lot of artists come into the game, make millions of dollars, have the biggest records, but they don't know what to do with it. That's the hip hop is the only industry like that. You go to the NBA, you go to the NFL, you become any type of professional, you got to go to classes to learn and grow. And I love what you're doing, man, because you're going to bridge that gap. You're going to really bridge that gap and help a lot of people's lives and save a lot of lives as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I gotta know, like, who's this class for, and how could people sign up to be a part of the course? Because is it just for signed artists, or like how does that work?
No, there's a couple. I'm not gonna announce the people just yet. There's some people that are really, really big that are gonna be a part of this class, but it's mostly for people who want to get into the music business. Meaning, you could be a publicist, you could be a manager, you could be an artist that wants to learn the business, producer, whatever. It's about learning the music business. I'm not going to be teaching you how to use Pro Tools and make beats. I'm going to teach you financial literacy. I'm going to teach you how to understand mental health and dealing with things that come with that, branding, monetization, business development. Those are the things that we're kind of going to get into. And it's for anybody that's under between the ages of 18 to 25, and that's BIPOC.
Well, IDK, I hate to break it to you, my brother, but this is the Mix on Fox Soul, which means we got professional stalkers. So we already know who's in the class. So you just jump straight to your question. I'm going to come back to mine. You feel me?
Yes. See, I was like, man, should I be breaking the news? Like, he don't want to say it. But we heard that there are going to be 5 featured students joining the class, including 2 of our former guests at the mix, Lil Yachty and Rico Nasty. So I wanted to know, will you be nervous knowing your direct peers will be in there with you?
Not at all. Those are my peoples, but also I known them for a while, and especially Rico, and Rico, me and her, I took her to her first label meeting in New York. So, they know how I get down when it comes to the business of what I do, and those are my people, so I wouldn't feel that way at all.
One thing you said really stood out to me was financial literacy, because that's something I've been trying to learn, because I think it's so important for the youth to understand how to make smart decisions with their money. And I remember Lil Yachty was on here and he said he would buy all this expensive jewelry because no one taught him how to manage his money wisely. And I think that's why you see a lot of people who do very well become bankrupt in the end, because they don't know financial literacy. So I think that's amazing. But with all that being said, I'm the only one on here that's not an artist, except for my ad libs. What's kind of what here. Thank you. So even I want to know, like, when's the cutoff for applying to this course, and when does it begin?
Well, it started today. We have a good amount of applications already, but we want to keep them coming because we want to pick the best students that fit. And you can sign up at nolabel.live/NLA right now. It takes 5 minutes. Like, just go in and see if you can make it to round 2. But we close applications at the end of this week. So I would like for everybody to try to get everything in as soon as possible so we can review it. There'll be people from Harvard reviewing, as well as myself at a certain point. So yes, nolabel.live/NLA.
Okay. And I seen that you were actually answering questions about the course on IG yesterday. And you mentioned that mental health would be a key component in the class. I think that's big. Could you elaborate more on that though?
Yeah, I think that we've created fame. Fame is a new thing. In our evolution, we haven't developed, and not a lot of us are even famous. So we haven't evolved into the idea of fame. We're starting to because of social media, even on smaller scales, right? Everyone has followers and Instagrams and things like that. But with fame comes a lot of things that test your mental health. And I think that with this class, no one ever breaks down what it feels like to be an artist and get this troll commenting on your stuff, or a bunch of different trolls. That one negative comment almost trumps 1,000 great ones, right? Especially if it picks at your insecurities, things that you might be insecure about already. So what we're trying to do is teach people how to deal with things like that, to expect those things, honestly, because you can't escape it. You can't escape someone's opinion, and how to be able to think about those things in a way where it's not detrimental to you and your character and how you feel, not letting those things affect your entire day. That's something that I wish I was taught. I had to learn on my own, but because I know it, I want to extract that information and give it to somebody easier.
And that's the thing, though. A lot of young artists that's in the game, they don't have to learn it on their own, because just like you're the first one probably in your family to go through this, the first one to be an artist, to be successful at this. And that's the blessing I had with my pops. I watched my pops and he'll give me the game, and I had all these people that kind of prepared me. So I was always getting educated on. There are going to be a lot of people who don't like you for no reason, because it's this thing called fame. And just because you have a talent and you're good at it, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to love you. But that doesn't mean you quit. That doesn't mean you give up. And something as simple as that, we don't realize, I like what you said, is that you don't even got to be famous now to have fame. With social media, everybody will have trolls. And I think this is amazing that you're going to be hitting on this and with mental health, because I think that's the biggest key to a lot of people's success and happiness in this new generation.
100%. But that's what kind of a lot of the greats have gone and passed away because of turning to maybe drugs to cope with some of these things, things that they haven't dealt with the proper way. And we got to kind of eliminate that. We got to stop that. We got to make it less of a thing, and this class, I think, is going to be one of the important key factors.
I'm about to go submit right now, man. Can you give us that one more time, man?
Yeah, seriously.
I'm in there.
This class is like a life class. You can put some elements in your course to like your actual life, even if you aren't an artist. I just want to join. Can hosts of the mix on Fox Soul join
Guys,
this course?
can we join?
Just holler at my peoples, you know, my peoples will hit your peoples and it. Nah,
It's the cat.
That thing. We're gonna be on Zoom in there like this.
Right.
Welcome. Like that weekend after the classes are done and we do the graduation, I would love for it to be a complex con of education. I would love for how like people go to Rolling Loud Miami for a couple days or Coachella. I would love this to be that kind of vibe. So if you all want to come, please, you're welcome. That weekend would be lit.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. Like when we first started talking about this, I was like, I'm gonna like secretly sign up and not tell nobody because, well, you had said y'all wasn't gonna be teaching Pro Tools and stuff, but I'm like, it might be some little engineering skills they might teach in there. But you said that y'all not doing that. But you know, I still may, show up in the back of the class. So you don't call me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you at the front.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like all that,
This man a strict teacher.
Spotlight. Yeah. I'm gonna be like, let me sneak out of here. I was like, you remember when I was interviewing you? Like, I thought we had a.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's gonna be lit though. I would love to try to come through if you can.
So basically, we're all just gonna go hijack the class. So
yeah.
Don't even worry about it. We're just there to enjoy the moment. We're there to get some knowledge.
Yeah.
It's so good. So we can talk about those details off camera because we do have to go to break right now. Okay. But I want to tell everyone you need to go pre-save his album You See For Yourself before it drops on July 9th. And as we learned, T-Pain will be on there. We're all excited and awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, anyway. If you want to apply to take his course at Harvard, the applications are available exclusively on the Nike Sneakers app starting today. And get them in by the end of the week, please. Don't be that procrastinator that waits too long. No one likes that. And our IG page at The Mix, Fox Soul, and we will link you with all the details. Thank you so much, IDK. We had such a great time with you.
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Drop gems.
Yeah, I'm signing up for the class.
Yeah.
We all are. I think we should just sign up and go and enjoy it.
Exactly. But keep it locked on The Mix, only on Fox Soul. Y'all know what it is.